Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce some very important people involved in this evening's program. Mr. Ed Mulick, the President of the Junior Achievement Board of Directors. Mindy Kenworthy, the Executive Director of Junior Achievement. Mr. Charlie Nelms, Honorary Chairman of the Wayne County Business Hall of Fame. And Mr. Bob Van Pelt, our Master of Ceremonies this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, our laureates for this evening's Wayne County Business Hall of Fame. The late C.R. Golay, represented by his wife Marjorie Golay, escorted by Scott Booker. And Arthur M. Vivian, escorted by Sharon Sanders. Please remain seated for the invocation given by Scott Booker, a student at Indiana University East and a business basics consultant.
Please bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we are thankful for the opportunity to gather here tonight to honor these outstanding leaders of our free enterprise system. We thank you for their leadership, dedication, and ambitions that, along with other great leaders, help make this the great nation that it is. A nation where we can enjoy the freedom of choice that many people in the world cannot. It is people such as the ones we honor tonight that help to inspire others to make this country a better place for all. We thank you for the abundance of gifts and opportunities you provide us so that we may share these blessings with those less fortunate. Guide us through our lives so that we may continue to serve our communities and our nation and continue to make it one to be proud of. Thank you for the love of our families and friends, and bless this food which we are about to partake for the nourishment of our bodies. Amen.
The eagle, a majestic bird, noted for a keenness of vision and for its graceful strength and power in flight. For centuries, the eagle has been the symbol of splendor, of victory, and of virtue, inspiring all admirers to emulate its accomplishments. In the business world, an eagle is that rare businessman or woman who has the instinct and vision to see what has yet to be attained, the strength and persistence to pursue the goal, and the wisdom to recognize the value of achievement. In a single word, it may be the optimism to see success where others have seen failure. The eagle is extremely rare. So too is the businessman or woman who, through instinct or consistent personal endeavor, has reached the greater heights.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm Ed Mulick, the President of the Board of Directors for the Eastern Indiana Junior Achievement Organization. On behalf of our Board of Directors, our Executive Director, Mindy Kenworthy, our Administrative Assistant, Jennifer Smith, it is indeed my honor and my great pleasure to welcome you here this evening and to thank you for your participation and sponsorship. both of which I assure you are very, very deeply appreciated. The Wayne County Business Hall of Fame was established by our Board of Directors to honor the outstanding achievement of Wayne County business people, both past and present, and to also establish public acknowledgement of role models for the young people which JA serves. Role models such as the inductees that we're here to honor this evening. Like most other business institutions, over the past few years, junior achievement has experienced change. We've changed primarily from an organization that was involved with the school systems pretty much as an extracurricular activity after regular school hours to a much more meaningful partnership in the classrooms, the school systems, throughout Wayne County. We at JA are very proud of our partnerships with the school systems and our programs. And we're very proud of the free enterprise system. To further expand on what we're doing in the JA classrooms, I'd like you to join with me in welcoming a young lady who has worked very, very hard in connection with enhancing those partnerships that I just spoke of, and also worked very hard in connection with ensuring this event this evening. So I'd like you to join with me now in welcoming Junior Achievement's Executive Director, Mindy Kenworthy. Mindy?
In my short time as Executive Director for Junior Achievement, I've been impressed with the high quality of leadership of the organization, and not only on a national level, but here locally as well. And I'd like to take this time just to briefly thank the local Board of Directors for all the help and assistance that they have given me so far. One of the biggest challenges I probably face in my position is educating the community on what JA is all about. So many people still associate JA with the popular after-school program where students marketed a product and sold stock and produced the product and then sold it. But JA made the transition from this after-school program to in-school programs in 1975 in order to reach more kids with economic education programs. This move proved to be quite successful, for we are now reaching 1.5 million students worldwide with our program, compared to only a couple 100,000 with the nighttime program alone. Here in Wayne County, we are providing 3 in-school programs to nearly 1,800 students in all 5 Wayne County school systems. These 3 programs include Business Basics, which is our elementary program, where 4 lessons are presented by a high school or a college business student. And the lessons include lessons on organization, business organization, management, marketing, and production. Project Business is the middle school program, and it teaches practical business applications. For instance, writing a check and preparing for a job interview and exploring careers. The third program is Applied Economics, which is taught in a high school economics class, runs the full semester, and the students receive credit for it. Junior Achievement has the largest and the longest running partnership with the education and business community. We provide textbooks, study guides, workbooks, computer simulations, and even the computers themselves to the school systems at no charge. However, probably the most valuable component of our in-school programs is the business volunteer who takes time out of his busy schedule and visits the classroom for about 1 hour each week. This person, like Ed mentioned, serves as a role model for these kids who don't have a lot of contact with the real business world. This consultant, as they are called by JA, shares his or her business knowledge and experiences with the kids and stresses the importance of education and its relevance to the business world. There are many businesses and organizations represented here tonight, and I encourage all of you to get out and help me spread the word on what JA is currently about. You can also help through your financial support, and more importantly, you can help by the volunteering of your time, by going into the classroom and sharing with today's students and helping to prepare tomorrow's workforce. At this time, I am pleased to announce the honorary chairman for tonight's event, Charlie Nelms.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends. I'm indeed delighted to have the opportunity to welcome you here this evening, even though I can't see you. I hope that you've had an enjoyable evening, and I'm confident that the remainder of your evening will be equally as enjoyable. We pause this evening to recognize the commitment of two individuals who devoted a lifetime to improving the quality of life for the citizens of Eastern Indiana. We are honored by your presence as we recognize the contributions of our laureates, Dr. Arthur M. Vivian and the late Mr. C.R. Golay. The Business Hall of Fame is a small but lasting way for us to recognize on an annual basis one or more business leaders whose vision, leadership, business acumen, and civic involvement have had a lasting impact. Junior achievement would not be successful without the support of the volunteers who teach students about our free enterprise system. They do this through GA sponsorships as well as through classroom lectures throughout the school year. In my view, JA is synonymous with partnerships. JA is synonymous with learning by doing. JA is the one way that we all have of keeping our ideals and dreams alive, irrespective of our political party, gender, or ethnic background. Without a strong system of free enterprise, we are all poor. Again, thank you for your presence and for your support of junior achievement. I hope that you've had a wonderful evening so far, and I'm confident that the remainder of your evening will be equally as enjoyable. Will you now join me in a warm round of applause for our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Bob Van Pelt.
Thank you, Charlie. It is indeed an honor for me to be here this evening. As a young man growing up in Eastern Indiana, one of the things I heard the generation before me talk about was great business leadership. Even though they were not actively involved and had very little social contact and so on and so forth, the two names that came up in Western Wayne County, Mr. Golay's name was mentioned constantly and consistently throughout my father's generation. Throughout my generation, his name has been mentioned constantly and consistently. And as my son has grown up, again, 3 generations of the Van Pelt family have known the name of C.R. Golay and his companies. Also with that tradition, Mr. Art Vivian has been an absolute monument to the eastern side of Wayne County. So we have with us this evening 2 laureates who represent, or represented here, the county, both in the western Wayne County area and also the eastern Wayne County area, 2 absolute pillars in their community and 2 names that have spanned 3 or 4 generations of citizens in Wayne County. It's a great pleasure for me to honor the first of those laureates, Mr. C.R. Golay, and I'd like now for you to view a short video on Mr. Golay's business and his career.
Junior Achievement is founded on the free enterprise system, the advantages it offers, and the opportunities it creates. Tonight we honor 2 business leaders who have set the course for others through their belief in this system. On Christmas Day, 1911, Cambridge City was the recipient of a great gift, one whose significance would manifest over the next 70 years. That gift was the birth of Charles Golay, entrepreneur, capitalist, and philanthropist. A man dedicated to his God, his country, and his community. In his boyhood years, the young CR delivered the Richmond newspaper and also worked in Reese's electric shop. Money earned and saved as a teenager helped him attend Purdue University after his graduation from high school in 1930. There he began to develop his entrepreneurial skills, coupling them with his always powerful work ethic. With borrowed money, he bought a truck to haul logs, sometimes making 2 trips a day while others only made 1. He opened a junkyard and trucked the scrap he purchased to steel mills. In 1939, he launched Converto Manufacturing Company and soon was producing half-ton trailers for the commercial market. In 1949, with his brother Don, Mr. Golay purchased Judkins Casket Company and introduced Farmer Feeder Company, later known as Chore Boy. In 1959, Lee Cylinder Company of Detroit was purchased and relocated to the Farmer Feeder Company building. In 1960, the 3 companies merged into Golay & Company with 3 divisions: Converto, which manufactured heavy material handling equipment, Chore Boy, which produced milking machines and feed handling equipment, and Lee, which manufactured propane gas cylinders. His businesses continued to flourish, and Mr. Golay spread his good fortune to his community. A veteran Golay executive, Martin Allman, said, "There were very few deserving people who asked for his help and didn't get it, and a great deal of other help was given anonymously." His trucks brought logs from Michigan to build the Boy Scout cabin in Cambridge City's Kreitz Park. He sponsored Little League teams, junior achievement, and numerous civic projects benefited through his generosity. Anonymity was Golay's intention, but his philanthropic works could not be missed. He could not escape the appreciation of the community. He was awarded Cambridge City's Citizen of the Year in 1961, Distinguished Service Award from the J.C.'s, Sir Thomas Service to Mankind Award, and the prestigious Jefferson Award, a tribute given to Americans who think more of others than of themselves. Through the years, scores of honors and awards were given to him by the Boy Scouts, Kiwanis Club, Reed Hospital, and Junior Achievement. Mr. Golay also kept himself busy being a Cambridge City School Board member, a Reed Hospital Board member, Cambridge City Chamber of Commerce founder, and by being a Scottish Rite Mason. He was a member and elder of the Cambridge City Christian Church, which inspired him to help fund their sanctuary. One of Golay's last gifts was the Reed Hospital Chapel, a presentation he and his wife Marjorie made in memory of their son, who was killed in an automobile accident. Stephen Limley, a longtime associate of Golay's, said of his friend, "Most of us have good hindsight, but Charles Golay had good foresight. He dreamed dreams, and then he made them come true." This was particularly true of Golay's most noted gift to Wayne County, the Golay Community Center. In 1979, Golay sold his industries, and 2 years later, he and his wife dedicated the $3 million Golay Community Center and nearby medical center, both at the eastern edge of Cambridge City. The center provides a community meeting place and activity center for western Wayne County and surpasses anything in the United States for a community of 2,500. When C.R. Golay died July 31st, 1985, those who knew him well paid tribute to his life. Whether it is in personal caring, the generosity of his giving, or the bright hope of his vision, C.R. Golay is a man of whom our Lord might well say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Well done." Mr. Charles R. Golay, a man who built industries from diligence, realities from dreams, who gave unselfishly to his community. Tonight we honor Charles R. Golay with posthumous induction into the Wayne County Business Hall of Fame.
Accepting the prestigious Eagle Award this evening for Mr. Golay, posthumously, his wife Marjorie Golay. Mrs. Golay, would you come forward, please?
makes me exceedingly proud to accept this award for CR. I only wish he were here tonight. He did so much for so many and never took any, wanted to be credited with it. I never saw anybody that was so free with his good nature and thoughts, and good provider for everyone, not only his family, but everyone. He could help, especially young people. He would do anything to help them learn to be good enterprises. He'd had that training from his grandmother on up, and it meant an awful lot to everyone that he took such an interest in the town. He was very proud. He loved to build things, and so he did. Had to build factories over and everything else, but he always come out ahead. He always was proud. He said that he never borrowed money that he didn't pay back. He thought that was quite a tribute to himself when he... It's been a lovely evening for me. It's so many wonderful memories. He was always taking us to plays and loved symphony music and everything. And he had a good life. He never spared himself in any way to make things better for this world. So I hope he's looking in tonight on us. And I'm sure that he appreciates us as much as I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Golay. What a great testimony to a great business person. That's quite a career. That tape, I kept thinking to myself as I was watching the tape, every now and then, those of us in this room think we're getting some things done, but it just reminds you how far behind you really are. It's amazing. Our next laureate this evening has been a Richmond tradition. My lifetime has been a pillar of the community and almost every front in which the community does business, be it through the Chamber of Commerce, the Indiana University East, any number of things that have gone on in Indiana. Art Vivian has always stepped forward at the hospital. Everywhere that things need to be done, Art Vivian has been there and has provided needed assistance and guidance throughout this community all of his lifetime, and has been a real pillar for the community of Richmond, Indiana, and a pillar for Eastern Indiana in general. I'd like now to show you a tape about Mr. Vivian and his business career.
Our second inductee this evening is a man who has not only entertained thousands on stage, but set the stage for the development and sustained health of Wayne County's businesses and community. Our inductee once said, "If I can do anything for this city, I do it." And Art Vivian has done it. In a 1978 Palladium item, it read, "In his various roles, it is likely Vivian has touched the lives of more Richmond residents than has any other local resident in recent years." Perhaps they were referring to his role in Indiana University East, or Reed Hospital, or Earlham College, or as a business leader, or his performances at Civic Theater. Arthur Morrison Vivian was born in 1906. He graduated from Newcastle High School and continued his education at DePaul University, earning his bachelor's in 1927. He furthered his education at Michigan with a master's degree in 1929. His prowess as a businessman made him regional sales manager for Buick and General Motors by 1941. Then World War II called Mr. Vivian to service. The Air Force took full advantage of his management abilities, and by the end of the war, he was referred to as Lieutenant Colonel Vivian. After the war, he came to Richmond and launched his 28-year business career here as president and general manager of Vivian Buick. Richmond was now the benefactor of Art Vivian's previous experience. He became dedicated to the community in a very short time. Throughout his stay in Richmond, Art has been the driving force for excellence in business, education, and the arts. He has contributed his leadership unselfishly. As the first president of the Chamber of Commerce and the first president of its predecessor, the Committee of 100, he set a standard for future leaders. He served as chairman of Richmond's Economic Growth Group, chairman of Reed Hospital's Board of Directors, a member of the Board of Directors at Second National Bank, Richmond City Council member, president of the Indiana Auto Dealers Association, and as chairman of the National Dealers Council of General Motors. Each of these organizations benefited from Art's expertise in business and his talent with people. Being a man of education himself, Mr. Vivian dedicated himself to the development of Indiana University East. Many believe that it was his momentum that made the campus here in Richmond a reality. That persistence in pursuing a goal has helped Art in his fundraising efforts from various groups throughout the county. Millions of dollars have been given for special projects because Art asked me to give. IU East Campus, Reed Hospital, Richmond Civic Theater, Earlham College, and the YMCA are only a few. Art never asked for something he was not willing to do himself. Thousands of dollars that went into these organizations and projects were his own. In honor of him, Reed Hospital dedicated the Vivian Pavilion in 1983. In 1989, Indiana University East dedicated the Vivian Auditorium. These will forever be lasting tributes to a man who gave of himself for others. Other awards and honors bestowed upon Art Vivian are Sir Thomas Service to Mankind Award, Man of the Year tributes from Rotary, Lions, Optimist, YMCA, and the Chamber of Commerce, Coder Collision Award from the Great Lakes Area Development Council, the Herman Gooden Civic Service Award from Indiana Automobile Dealers Association. The Critics Award is Best Actor from the Indiana Theater League, the Jefferson Award, and the coveted Sagamore of the Wabash from Governor Robert Orr. In 1983, he was the recipient of an honorary Doctor of Laws degree from Indiana University, the highest honor the university bestows, for his role in establishing IU East and his continued efforts in economic development. The late Kenneth Spoon, president of Reed Hospital, once said, "His achievements are phenomenal, and we are all the beneficiaries of his talents and efforts." How true these words ring in our community. Arthur Vivian, whose love for his community has brought it great fortune, is a local treasure. Paul Lingle, longtime friend and colleague, said it best during a fundraiser roast of our honoree. Aren't we lucky he chose Richmond? Arthur, we salute you. Indeed, this community is fortunate, and tonight, Junior Achievement is proud to induct Arthur Morrison Vivian into the Business Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the podium Arthur M. Vivian.
Thank you. Well, you heard what the man said. If it be true, and I owe thanks to my Maker letting me live long enough to relish this magnificent moment. Thanks also to my wife, Anne, whose constant love and support has helped me through these years. Many of my family are here tonight, too. Will you all please stand? I love these guys. If it be true, then you're looking at a gent who is a legend in his own time, a true folk hero. From now on, you can call me Julius, after Caesar, or better yet, Davy, after Crockett. Now I can take my place among those such as King Tut and Moses, Alexander the Great, Charlemagne, Napoleon, Robin Hood, Ben Franklin, Wyatt Earp, John Dillinger, just to name a few. What you see here is the result of a love affair between this gent and his town. The town has been very good to me, and I vowed to return the favor. You take some and you give some back. That's the philosophy of the volunteer. Everyone here is a volunteer. You know where I'm coming from. You take some and you give some back. Volunteering, which is unique in this country. And if along the way you achieve some success, so much the better. Icing on the cake. For instance, the Chanticleer Ensemble with the Golay Center, Junior Achievement of Eastern Indiana, such as the IU Purdue Ivy Tech East Campus, the fastest growing campus, Reed Hospital, the caring institution, operated by a caring staff, supported by over 800 caring volunteers, and a talented group of caring physicians. Townsend Center, the Richmond-Wayne County Chamber of Commerce, supported by and supporting the entire business community. And my true love, the Richmond Civic Theater, whose great productions received national acclaim. Finally, I hope to live to be able to point with pride to the success of the Richmond College Incentive Plan, a plan that is designed to provide college education to every deserving but indigent high school graduate who might otherwise be a dropout and would join his parents on the relief rolls of this county. If this plan is a success, it will eventually erase welfare taxes in Wayne County, some $25 million annually. This plan deserves our unqualified support. So thanks to Junior Achievement, and may God bless you and yours. Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm going to have Sharon carry this for you. You want me to have this? Thank you. As I looked around the crowd, one of the things that fascinates me about coming out to these occasions is the crowd seems to be getting younger, and it's kind of a scary process. I didn't realize all this was going on. But as I look around and see young business people and people who are still fairly young in their business careers, I would encourage you to get involved in junior achievement at the classroom level. Perhaps one of the most rewarding volunteer things that I ever was involved in and intend fully to get back to was teaching project business for about 6 years or 7 years with Mr. Zinkin at the high school, and really had a tremendous experience through the JA program and through project business. The youngsters at our schools know far too little about the workings of the free enterprise system, about the organization types of businesses, about finance and paying off debt and writing checks and those type things. And even though to those of us who are doing those things every day, and those of us who are involved in those processes every day, those things that we take for granted are sometimes overlooked because of what seems to be a lack of interest in the educational process. So it is imperative to us as business people, it is imperative to us as people who are involved in industries and businesses, small and large, retail, non-retail, manufacturing, utilities, etc., to get involved with these young people and to be sure that they have the experience of having shared some of those ideas and some of those values as they move through the educational process. So I would encourage all of you in some form or another to get involved in the Junior Achievement Program as your time and your ideas permit. I need to say thanks to some people, and I think we would be remiss not to thank the co-chair for this evening's activity, the co-chairs, the chair and the co-chair for this evening's activity, Mr. Bruce Harris and Marcy Dines. Would you folks please stand? Thank you, Bruce and Marcy. Thanks a lot. One of the things we want to remind you of is that nominations for induction into the Business Hall of Fame are taken at the Junior Achievement Office. And JA would really appreciate your ideas as people who are out moving around through the community and doing different things about future laureates for this presentation. I'd like to also say thanks this evening to Mr. Phil Leathers. Phil, are you still up there? Phil Leathers and the staff of Forest Hills Country Club. Please give them a nice round of applause. Perhaps the real champions of this evening's dinner and honors for the laureates, other than the laureates themselves and their business careers, great video audio production by Allied Broadcasting. Certainly like to thank their folks for their efforts. One of the great voices of all times that is never seen at this dinner, and certainly someone that I've enjoyed working with, Mr. Ray Ramsey. Where is Ray? The voice behind the scenes. Last but certainly not least, as we wind up this evening, I'd like to say thank you to the laureates and their family. Mrs. Golay, your husband's work and his efforts in his business career are certainly reflective of a great business relationship between a husband and a wife, and a commitment that very few people are willing to make to a community, to industry, to creating jobs, and to creative entrepreneurism, which is certainly reflective as you review the highlights of his career. To Art Vivian and his family, thank you for the time and the commitment and allowing the community to share in Mr. Vivian's visions and his dreams for the community. We are all, as citizens of Wayne County and of Eastern Indiana, better for having Mr. Golay and Mr. Vivian pass through our lives and our community. And I'd like to thank them and their families for allowing us to honor them this evening with a small token of our appreciation by induction into the Business Hall of Fame. Thank you. Also like to thank you, the folks who attended, and the businesses that you represent, for your support of Junior Achievement of Eastern Indiana and also of this dinner this evening. I think as we look to the future of this particular evening, this event will absolutely grow and should absolutely be the highlight of the business year in Richmond, Indiana and Eastern Indiana, and I thank you for your support. Please be careful as you leave. Thanks a lot for being here.